Welcome back to Lower Decks, where we start on an alien planet with a glowing green orb. This guy approaches despite that clearly being ominous, because he's a scientist, so steering clear of danger, that's not really an option when Discovery's involved. Well, who should appear out of nowhere to seduce him but his 7th grade geology teacher in a revealing toga? Well, we've all been there.
You can tell me about that race car novel you're writing.
He's still holding out hope for the novelization of F1. But shockingly, it is all a trick, and he gets turned to stone. After the titles, the Cerritos is one of 3 ships to come to this world, because the Scruttle, the silicon-based life forms that pulled that trick, are going to keep doing this to scientists until they leave for good. The Hood is the big swinging dick here, so while they get to negotiate the peace, our heroes and the Carlsbad are in charge of taking all the crap down and dealing with those green orb things. It's the glamour of the job that's its own reward. Ransom goes off about how much he hates these outpost scientists, thinking they can explore on the frontier without joining Starfleet. That's why they're always getting into trouble. If they just joined Starfleet, then at least they'd be wearing a blue uniform when they had all their salt devoured. As if to then demonstrate why the scientists might not want to join Starfleet, Ransom then immediately says that the Lower Deckers are going to be dealing with the psychic minds, the things that bring your fantasy to life and then turn you to stone. Tendi actually lucks out. She's not going to be in this because she's going to be prepping for her new bridge role.
I've been prepping so much I'm afraid my brain's going to explode with science.
Yeah, that's the fate of more than one Starfleet officer, actually. She discovers her mentor is...
Well, I wonder who that could be. It's me!
Oh, dear Lord. This has to be a computer glitch. Probably confused because they're both green.
Just so you know, I've been studying super hard. Microbiology, xenobiology, astrobiology.
There really are a lot of sciences, aren't there? Too many, if you ask me.
Yeah, we should go back to the simpler days when the sky was crystal spheres and illness was caused by a troll living in your stomach. In keeping with his novel ideas, he wants Tendi to worry less about tests and more about trying to get Captain Freeman's attention. Today, in the middle of careful negotiations, knowing it'll likely piss her off. Kind of reminds me of the sea captain from The Simpsons sometimes.
I'm telling you, the light would work better if it pointed out to sea.
Dar, shut up! I know what I'm doing. Dar, I hate the sea and everything in it.
Speaking of the inadvisable, we return to the issue of the psychic minds, which isn't going well because the Carlsbad Lower Deckers seem kind of cold towards our Lower Deckers. So Mariner decides honor demands they do their job better and faster. Okay. Of course, these minds do tend to reveal the level we operate on. Rutherford fantasizing about Leah Brahms, Boimler about being whisked away to help in a Borg crisis.
Also, a sidecar? Even in your fantasy, you're not driving?
Driving's scary. I'm a natural passenger.
They are kind of embarrassing, though.
She's not my girlfriend. We're just hanging out. We're not into labels.
Oh, I'm into labels. I'm fine being your hot Andorian girlfriend.
I imagine that is the title of so many spam emails. Speaking of uncomfortable truths, Freeman is dealing with the fact that Carlsbad captain is so much younger than her, meaning he's skyrocketing up the ranks heading towards the Galaxy class. And yes, she passed on leaving the Cerritos, but still, where does he get off being so... well, that. It gets awkward when the rock guys arrive with a tiny pyramid as a gift that both captains are trying to pawn off on the other. The stone dude's probably thinking, I should have just brought a bottle of wine like my wife suggested. Well, Mariner's plan is running into problems in the shape of Stevens, who is obsessed with Ransom to the small hidden shrine degree. So when he gets in the way of speeding to the finish for safety, she says the Carlsbad team thinks Ransom is crap, prompting Stevens to overcorrect and in the process bust open all the minds. Instead of fantasies, now we're getting nightmares. And that is worse. That is so much worse. You can only metaphorically die of embarrassment. Hilariously, Mariner's fantasy and nightmare have about a 2-degree separation. When she was crowing about being complicated in Second Contact, I don't think this was the thing that she was so proud of, wanting a stable relationship but terrified of commitment. Maybe you should consider more therapy, Mariner.
I must admit, this new rule rather suits me. A toast to me, and to a lesser extent, but also worth noting, Tendi.
Maybe you should consider telemedicine therapy, Mariner. Turns out that there was no competition either. The Carlsbad Deckers were just awed to be in the presence of our heroes, that they were trying to impress them. Turns out that the Cerritos' reputation isn't for being stupid among the big ships, but being awesome among the support ships. The admiration is cut short when they realize that the nightmares are now beginning to contain random thoughts that are neither nightmares nor fantasies. And they realize there is a fusion of rock tech and Federation tech in the back of the cave, gathering all kinds of info from their thoughts. They eventually make it back, only Tendi has figured it out already, smashing the pyramid to reveal Federation technology inside, part of a plan to acquire and sell Starfleet's secrets. You're about to learn what a real nightmare is. I kind of feared when I was asked to score these what would happen. There is an ingrained belief that the episode can be graded like a classroom essay or something. The star system for apps and products, with 3 stars being a death sentence, shows where this inevitably leads. So the scoring system tries to measure you against the fairest metric there is, yourself. This means there's going to be 14 that's 1 to 4, 14 that's 7 to 10, and 22 that represents roughly the midpoint of 5s and 6s, with the 6s being just a wee bit above the midpoint. It's easier to do that with a big sample size like TNG or Voyager, but with only 50 episodes, it becomes that much more obvious. So I'm looking this episode over, and I'm thinking, hey, there's some funny bits in here. Mariner's complex thing with Jennifer the Andorian, Dr. T'Ana's horrible bedside manner with the guy with the thing eating his foot, the Carlsbad crew thinking Boimler was a child-sized robot, Boimler's sidecar, and there's that great scene where we see Dr. T'Ana as Tendi's real mentor and supportive of her. This is an episode I enjoyed. I give it 4 out of 10. There, see what I mean? But I have a spreadsheet with preliminary, that is not set in stone, rankings for all the episodes, so I know, hey, this is about on par with Strange Energies. Perfectly fine. But there are actually a lot of episodes still coming that are better than this one. We're getting into really granular stuff here, and with this score, that means that there's only 5 below average scores left for the entire rest of the series, and there are only 3s and 4s. And we've got 10 above average scores that are left. So the curve of the universe is towards bigger numbers here. So don't think of this as a bad score for a fine episode. Think of it as a demonstration the show kept growing and improving instead of staying flat. Speaking for myself, that's what I like to see.
Studying is good, but in real life there's gonna be times when you need to make a mess of things before you can fix them. Like how I'm gonna have to cut this guy's foot off so we can grow him a new one.
Wait, what was that?